Some of you were outraged when I said that Conor McGregor is our Ali. And why are you bothered by that? I mean, UFC has clearly overtaken boxing as far as the sport of now record that we discuss. We don't talk boxing anymore. I mean, there's Floyd Mayweather is fighting a UFC guy because he has no more boxers to fight. If there were great boxers out there, Floyd Mayweather wouldn't even consider fighting a UFC fighter. Conor McGregor can line up interesting fights. He could fight Nate Diaz again. The only reason Floyd Mayweather is considering this is there's nobody to fight. There's nobody to draw interest. There's nobody out there in boxing. Muhammad Ali was a controversial figure that talked everything from politics to race and was not as beloved in the time he was champ as he was when he passed away. Remember, a lot of you 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds didn't grow up with Muhammad Ali. I did. Muhammad Ali was a wildly polarizing figure. My dad didn't like Ali. I liked Ali. My dad wanted Frazier to beat Ali. There was Howard Cosell was intertwined in that relationship. You know, everybody looks at Ali and, Ali had class and dignity. Yes, but he was also outrageous, crazy, was the greatest promoter I've ever seen in sports. That's what Conor McGregor is. Conor McGregor is our Ali. Floyd Mayweather was undefeated. He's boring. Floyd Mayweather is all about money. How many people do you know that wear dollar signs on their hats that are fascinating? I mean, Floyd Mayweather is not a fascinating personality. He's got, the money team, but he's not a fascinating self-promoter. He's not a fascinating fighter. Floyd's a boring fighter. He's stylistically capable of shutting people down. You don't land punches. He's not captivating. Floyd Mayweather is not one of the 10 most interesting fighters of my life. Ali, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran. Floyd Mayweather may be undefeated. Not even close to one of the most interesting fighters of my life. Not even close. I find him unbelievably boring. Mayweather's undefeated, but he's boring. Ali was more interesting. I'll be honest. Joe Frazier was more interesting. Sugar Ray Leonard, Hagler, Hearns, Tommy the Hitman Hearns was more interesting. Oscar De La Hoya was more interesting. Roy Jones for a time was more interesting. So, if you're outraged by that, in the world we live in today, Conor McGregor, here's his latest tweet, engages the public, is a self-promoter, connects with the fans, can drive pay-per-view numbers, and it really speaks to the erosion of boxing, that Floyd's fighting him potentially. There's nobody else to fight. Nobody would pay for another boxing match with Floyd Mayweather. Conor McGregor, really, as far as social interest, is the more interesting of the two fighters. Now, I think he's going to go into the ring and get destroyed because the rules aren't set up for him. I mean, listen, Mike Trout may be a better athlete than Caron Butler, but if they played a basketball game, Caron Butler would beat Mike Trout. Boxing and UFC share some generalities, but they're two different sports. And Floyd Mayweather is going to own him. This is going to be not overly competitive. All I'm hoping for is Conor McGregor, if they fight, is super, hyper, uber aggressive and gets right into his kitchen. And I, you know what? If I was Conor McGregor, my game plan would be to be a disruptor. I would be a disruptor. I would tackle him. I would rattle him. I would go after him. I would headbutt him. I would get penalized. I would get points taken off. I would get into his head. I would tackle him. I would do anything I could to ramp up Mayweather and induce Mayweather to make a mistake and get close. Because if you're talking about what Mayweather wants is to control the environment, punch, jab, land, punch, jab, hook, punch, score, don't get touched. I'm Mayweather. I want to wrestle. I want it to be a barroom brawl. So I would go right after him. I'd border on inappropriate. If I had to tackle him, I would. I don't think it's going to be a fascinating watch, but I do think it's going to drive massive pay-per-view numbers.
You're still talking about it as if it will definitely happen.
Oh, it's going to happen. There's too much money not to happen. I mean, you have.
But Conor needs the money. Floyd probably doesn't.
Everybody tells me Floyd doesn't need the money. Floyd flies his baggage on a private plane by itself. He needs the money. It dries up very fast. Remember, Floyd Mayweather loses 40 to the federal government. He's got an agent. He's got trainers. He's got a lot of mouths to feed. You think to yourself, it's like I hear this all the time. Oh, a guy made $10 million. Well, in California, that becomes 4.8 really fast. Everybody's got an agent, 13% state tax, 40% federal tax. So, when you see these, a guy makes $60 million, he gets about 25 of it. And these guys, I just saw a story on Johnny Depp. Did you see that story on Johnny Depp's finances? He spends $200,000 a month on private jets.
What?
$2.4 million a year. He also bought about 7 homes. Probably, I imagine he bought them cash. So that's not liquid. If the market crashes, you can't do anything with a $13 million mansion that nobody wants to buy. So every time you see these big money with Floyd Mayweather, he flies his baggage privately on a private jet. He's got mouths to feed, and he's going to be alive for another 45, 50 years. That stuff runs out quick.